Each week when Supernatural's done, make sure you know what went on. Listen to Heather and Eric, get the salt notes for sure.
So you gave me a new pair of headphones for my birthday?
Happy birthday, Eric!
Yes, and
Yay! It was your birthday yesterday. Happy birthday!
And for my birthday, I shaved off my beard.
Yes, you did.
What do you think? Does it look horrible?
No, it's just weird because, not used to it.
Right, me neither.
But it looks good. You still look good.
It took my daughter like a second to realize who I was.
Kids freak out.
But what I do now, which I learned from the last time I shaved my beard, was I have to have her do it, like kind of trim it down first before I shave it. Mm-hmm. So that she's part of it and she realizes like the transformation is happening, so she doesn't freak the fuck out when she sees me. Because even though the fact, like even when I finished shaving and came out of the shower or whatever, I said, Mama, what do you think of Daddy? And she's like looking at me really strange.
I don't think you are my daddy.
She starts like taking 2 steps back. I'm like, nothing to be scared of. Come touch the softy. So it's a big change, but yes, thank you for my headphones. Last episode, I had to record without headphones because I couldn't find any.
Our entire podcast, we've been doing this for 6 months now. Can you believe we've been doing this for 6 months?
6 months, yes.
That's crazy.
Well, when I look at how many episodes we've done, because, one a week, it adds up. Yeah. Sometimes I think we skipped a couple weeks here and there.
We missed last week or the week before completely.
Yeah,
Our bad.
No, but we've been doing it for a while now. Yeah. I think we are somewhat better than when we started.
Not really. I think we're still shit. But you've been having to borrow headphones for every time since then. And then last week, we couldn't even find a pair for you to borrow. And so it was your birthday yesterday. So I got you headphones. You got your very own headphones.
It was the most awesome gift. Very thoughtful.
Yay.
I almost cried.
Are they actually any good? I don't know if they're any good or not.
I hear perfectly out of them. So I'm guessing they're doing their job.
Okay, they're decent. Nice.
All right, well,
Yay.
Today we are going to talk about, this is actually, I'm going to say it right in the beginning, probably my top 5 favorite episodes of Supernatural all time. What a freaking great episode. We're talking about Season 1, Episode 9, Home.
Yes, it was pretty good.
It was amazing from top to bottom, beginning to end. Oh, one of the best episodes I've ever seen. If you agree, disagree, please let us know. I'm going to be posting this up on Reddit and on YouTube, so comment, and let me know what you thought of this episode, because this really was overall a phenomenal episode. It actually started off with, again, these scenes, this episode kind of reminds me of like a very, very good scary movie, and that's originally for me what hooked me on the show was the fact I'm a huge horror film guy. I love watching scary movies. So this episode, from the very beginning, I felt like I was watching a movie, a scary movie.
Right.
So, again, spoiler, we're talking about future episodes. In the future episodes, it kind of seemed like it kind of reverted more back to like almost like a TV show where we're not talking about scary things anymore. Everything's in the open, angel and demons, like everything has almost been revealed to you, and there's no mystery anymore. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like desensitized me to anything at all. And
exactly.
This episode for me brought it back to home. And
literally and figuratively.
It starts off with a little girl
first
in
of all,
bed.
Heads up, or hat tip to Eric Kripke. He wrote this one.
Right.
Obviously his episodes are the best. It's his show. It's his baby. But he wrote this episode and did a fantastic job with it. And it was directed by Ken Girardi. Mm-hmm. And so I thought he did some fantastic direction, especially when at the end of the episode with Sam being put. It was great.
It was phenomenal. So the first scene is a little girl in her bed, and sees something in her closet and starts screaming. Her mom comes out and checks the closet to see if there's something bad in there. And this is actually one of my biggest fears, is that when my daughter gets old enough to start even seeing scary movies or thinking of scary things and thinking that something's in her closet, because I will probably be just as scared as she is checking what the hell is in that closet.
We'll just do like John Winchester did with Sam and Dean. If they say there's a monster under my bed, hand him a 45. Because there is.
Well, I told my daughter already, we have the magic blanket. Just cover your head if you're scared, and then nothing can get in the magic blanket. And then she has her magic wand that she shoots magic out of to defend herself from whatever comes. So hopefully that helped her out a little bit, or maybe I just scarred her for forever. If she doesn't have her blanket.
If she doesn't get her letter from Hogwarts, she's going to be really pissed off about all your lies.
So I'm like, oh God, that's already scary for me. So that's the first part of the episode. But then you notice in the next couple scenes where the whatever's in her closet, because it comes back to that scene again, is on fire. Very, very reminiscent of episode 1, the pilot, where Mary's on fire. Immediately, again, we've already seen this episode. It's a rewatch, so we've already seen it. But immediately, I'm like, because I haven't seen it in such a long time, I'm like, that's Mary.
Yeah.
That's, Sam and Dean's mom. Immediately, it was like, no, there's no second thought about it. I was like, oh my God, now I remember what's going to be going on with this episode.
Yeah.
It is so epic. So later on, so basically, they are now still trying to find stuff to do in this
Sam
episode.
And Dean,
yeah, they're trying to find stuff to do. Dean
searching for a case.
Yeah, Dean is researching, and all of a sudden, I guess Sam. Where he had visions. He was having visions.
Sam is having dreams, and this is the first episode where it's kind of confirmed that he's having visions, and we know that this will come into play later.
He thought they were nightmares, but his nightmares are actually coming true.
Right.
So he sees a woman in their old house, and he kind of matched them from a tree or a photo of a tree that was next to their house, which was similar to what he saw in his dreams. So it kind of connects the two.
Right, because he doesn't really remember the house from when he was a baby, because they immediately moved on and became hunters when he was a little kid, So he didn't spend much time in that house. So
he realizes that his nightmares are coming true, which already is freaky enough, because he tells Dean, and this is probably why he in the future episodes and seasons, they don't talk to each other anymore, because Sam confides in him that he's having nightmares, and these nightmares are actually coming true. Mm-hmm. And Dean's like freaking out, dude, you're telling me you're I forgot the word he used, but like your dreams are coming true, and he's like all kind of skeptic and like not believing him.
He's skeptic about it, and then when Sam, this is something that really kind of annoyed me, and is one of the things that I point to when I say I have a lot of issues with Dean in the beginning of the series. I've since gotten better with him, but Sam says, Dean doesn't want to go back to the house. He doesn't, just because Sam had a nightmare or vision or whatever the hell he wants to call it.
He's totally scared of going back to the house.
And Sam says, I can't explain it. I just need you to trust me. And Dean goes, trust you? I'm going to need more than that to go on.
Yeah.
I'm like,
more
bitch,
than trust.
What?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm like, oh, hell no.
See, the thing is, I think he specifically, at least for this case, or what this dream meant, was that he was just scared of specifically going back to that house, so he needed more than just a dream to confirm that that something is going on or whatever. So,
but when it gets to your brother that much, where he's like, "We have to do this. I need you to just go with me, no questions asked." At that point,
suck it up and just go.
If the situation was reversed and Dean had said that, it would have been a fucking shit fit if Sam had been like, "I can't just trust you."
Yeah.
Dean would never have let that go. So, no, that pissed me off.
If you ever move into a new house and or not a new house, but a house you've never lived in before, and you kind of stayed over, and you hear the bumps and scratches and clicks and pops that are going on at the house. Like when I first moved into my new house, and we were living there, and we literally just had a mattress on the floor at the time. So we moved in, and you hear all the new sounds of the house, the wooden floors cracking, and you hear things outside that you normally wouldn't hear, like where you were living before. Probably one of the scariest things that you could kind of go through, because your mind starts playing tricks on you. I
don't think I've ever had that situation, because we moved around a lot when I was a kid.
Uh-huh.
Like, I went to second grade in 3 different states. That's how much we moved.
Oh my God, Jesus.
That is how much we moved around when I was a kid. So I think it's I can fall asleep anywhere in any strange place with whatever weird noises you have going on. Like, doesn't bother me.
Yeah, because they actually end up going back to the house, their childhood home, and confront the lady. Actually tell them the truth for once about who they were.
Well,
kind of. They wanted to lie to the lady.
They told them the truth about who they were, but not why they were there.
Right. So they got in the house, and the lady starts telling them that she's hearing all these weird noises, and they're both looking at each other like, oh God, that's like, I mean, when I moved into my house, at this time when I moved into my house, I actually was watching Supernatural, so I probably just seen this episode. So I moved into the house and I start hearing all this shit, and I'm like, immediately my mind starts racing. I'm like, yep, that's probably a ghost in there for sure. Those are giant lizards or something crazy that's running across the floor. Yep. I couldn't sleep. It was horrible. But anyway, so the lady moves into their house and starts hearing all these things, and she's telling them, all the things that she's hearing, and they're both terrified at what's going on because this could possibly be the thing that killed their mom.
Right. That's what they're thinking as they're looking into this because, the thing was never caught.
Right.
They don't know what happened to it. They have no knowledge of what's been going on in their house in the years since they've left.
I mean, and Dean at least is so scared that he calls his dad and leaves him a very serious message.
Yeah, has a bit of a breakdown.
He's basically crying and telling his dad that I need your help right now. I know I've left you a couple messages before, but that was about like taking out the trash and, making sure the dog has clean water. But this one is serious.
God,
that there's something in her old house.
Dick.
I mean, later on, we're gonna fast forward just really quick because later on the episode, I'm not gonna fast forward. Never mind. So
Rewind.
he is, visibly shaken enough to reach out to his dad and say, "We need your help." And I mean, we might find out later on in the episode. Spoiler: if that he does or does not come to help, but
does he?
Second scariest thing, other than moving into a new house, is sticking your hand. Did you write that down?
I never take notes.
Never
you're
take
the one
notes.
you're the one that takes notes, and you're very organized. I just sit here and I'm like, let's just bullshit about stuff. I actually wrote down on a single Post-it note, not in a fancy notebook like you have, but on a single Post-it note, hand in the garbage disposal, and then a little face that says, "What the fuck, no."
Yeah. Well,
don't do it.
One thing that every scary house or a movie in a scary house has is a monkey with symbols.
Oh, I hate that creepy little thing.
But every single scary house has one of those. I don't know why.
Stephen King.
Yeah, it comes like with scary houses as part of the package. They say, okay, you purchase this house, now you get a scary monkey toy with a pair of symbols to freak you the fuck out.
How many monkeys actually play symbols?
I don't know. I don't even know.
Monkeys? I've never been to a circus where I've seen a monkey with symbols.
You're not going to the right circuses, sweetheart.
I don't really go to the circus.
So
it's weird.
I actually have gone to the circus, and now there's no more elephants.
Good.
At least in Ringley.
Good.
Yeah, they've treated. Anyways, so second scariest thing to moving to a new house for me is why would you ever stick your hand, knowing that there's electrical issues with the house?
Yeah.
Because she told me, it kind of goes on and off at certain times, whatever. Sticks his hand in the garbage disposal,
and he flips the switch up and down a few times, to test it. Before he sticks his hand in, and clearly it's not working. The power's not coming on. But I'm like, did you go out to a breaker? Did you turn off the actual power source? Your damn you need to unplug everything. You need to disconnect the wires. You need to use one of those little voltage amp tests
just to make 100% sure.
And even then, I still wouldn't do it.
Well, listen, one of the things that sucks the most about being a guy is
you have to.
That's the kind of shit you have to do. That I do not want to do, where I've had before where a glass broke in the sink and a piece of glass fell in the garbage disposal. Guess who has to get volunteered to go and take the glass out of me? So the entire time in my brain, I'm like, if this shit goes off, that's it. I'm done. No more playing video games. Number one. my good hand, my right hand goes out. No more picking my nose. It's all done. It's all. Gotta learn how to wipe my ass with my left hand. That's gonna be great. So, but I have to do that consistently. It's happened numerous times, but now I got a new technique which I learned. My daughter ended up throwing you remember those things back in the day where I can't remember the name of the toy, but it was little lights. It was a lit board and had a little pattern on it, and you poke lights through it.
Light bright.
Yeah. So we got her.
Yeah, I remember light bright.
Yeah, we had a light bright for her, so she threw it into the sink, and a couple of them fell in there. I was like, oh god, that's me. That's gonna take. I got fat hands, so it's hard for me to even get in there in the first place. But how am I supposed to take these little light bright things out of there? Straw. Chewed up some gum, put the end of the straw and smushed it against it. Worked like fucking magic. People use it. It really works.
I like that.
So yeah, that was scary. And that has...
And hasn't this happened... Because this happened in an episode, the hand in the garbage disposal, sometime in season 11. Because I remember us talking about this before, how we should never put your hand in a garbage disposal.
Yeah.
This is a reoccurring theme on Supernatural where people do that, and it's stupid.
You know why it's so fucking scary? Because it's probably happened a billion times. From the beginning of when garbage disposals were invented, people guarantee you have torn up their hands a million times in those things.
I don't have a garbage disposal at my home, and it's because of that. It's seriously sometimes I think, oh, I really wish I had one because I've got extra food I just want to toss in there and I want to put it. But no, I'm mm-mm.
Yeah, trust me,
not worth it.
You don't want it because
I'm I will take whatever I need to out to the outdoor garbage can. I will walk out there.
I know the power is off. I know no one's around to switch it on.
I
But
know
still,
ghosts aren't
I know.
real,
Well, I don't know about that, but
but I ain't trusting
Yeah.
nothing.
so they're completely freaked out. They're kind of they needed a moment in this episode to kind of like stop because they're freaking the fuck out, thinking it is the thing that killed their mom. That they're like, let's reevaluate. Let's treat this just like a regular case.
Right.
How would we attack it?
What would we do if it wasn't connected to
so
us?
they started trying to reach out to people kind of who knew their dad and their family, whatever, and they get told that a psychic, that John kind of went off the deep end or was trying to or thinking that something weird was going on, and he went to go talk to a psychic called
Missouri.
Missouri Mosley.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually was the first line in the journal that the dad, kind of like the beginning of where the story started. I would love to. I wonder if that journal is a real thing. Like, it's just not like scribble scrabble on a paper to see if there was actually real writing on it.
Oh, there has to be tons because they focus on it in the show so much, like on camera, at least in the first couple seasons. I mean, you never see it now, of course.
Yeah, they've gone far past the journal.
So far past it.
So far past the journal.
So far.
But
Now they've just got all their books in the Men of Letters bunker.
yeah, so this chick is awesome. This psychic is awesome.
Love her. Shout out to her. She plays Adele on Grey's Anatomy, or she did. Adele Weber on Grey's Anatomy. So,
Right.
I mean, she's done so much. I love her.
Yeah, I thought she was a great character.
Loretta Devine is the actress's name.
She was awesome. The fact that she even knew who they were from such a long time ago. She can read minds.
She seemed like an actual legit psychic.
Oh, 100% legit.
And so now I've got a question, and I'm kind of jumping to the end of the episode where they say to her, you know, she says to them, like, don't be a stranger. And they say, oh, no, we won't. We'll keep in touch. We'll see you around. We've never seen or heard from her ever again.
That
right?
was actually one of the things I wrote down in my notes was the fact that
and
this lady is legit.
Need for psychics.
Yes.
Later on in the show, we've clearly seen a need for psychics when they encounter some stuff in later seasons.
Yeah.
What the fuck, guys?
Like, not only is she phenomenal, but you have a personal tie with her. Like, she knew your family, she knows your situation, she knows your hunters. She knows there's no secrets with that lady. Like, that would be my go-to. Like, that's my third wheel. Like, that's a lady who kind of like almost like a mother figure at the same time, you know?
Well, I mean, she was acting like a mother figure, telling Dean, don't cuss at me, don't put your feet on the table.
Yes,
like,
yeah.
It was very, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if I was the show, I would have definitely had her because she was very lovable.
She was great. Such a
But the only thing is, if you do involve her
actress.
with Sam and Dean, you know she's going to end up dead anyway. So it's kind of like, kind of glad she's kind of maybe
glad
still
they've
around.
never seen her again,
because
maybe
what?
she's still alive.
Since we do spoiler if you haven't seen the last season.
We have watched. We will spoil all the way up to the very end of season 11. If you have never seen Supernatural before, beware.
Yes.
We talk about everything.
So now that their mom is back, wouldn't it be awesome if they showed up back to the house and
what would they do back at the house though?
Because remember, look, she stayed in this episode. Later on, we find out that she was actually the spirit that was on fire in that closet.
Right. There were two spirits in their old home. One was an evil spirit,
a poltergeist,
and the second one was the spirit of Mary, who was trying to protect the home and the people in it.
Right. So she was there. I mean, she was still there in that house. You know, after all this time that has passed.
Yeah, that's 20 years after she died. You know.
So she's still there. You know, if anything, she's gonna want to go see back. And she's back on Earth. Mm-hmm. She's gonna want to go see her old house. I mean, I would want to go see my old house. I still visit my old house all the time. I just drive by there to see what's going on.
But would she? I mean, wouldn't she want to be with her sons? I mean, I don't know if you know this, but there's kind of always some shit going down.
There's shit going down. I mean, at this point, Sam's been shot. They're not gonna kill him, but he's been shot.
They are
or
definitely
injured.
not going to kill him. But he is missing, and Dean and Mary are going to have to find him at the beginning of season 12.
Right. So they're going to have some stuff to do, but eventually they're going to have to like say, you know what are we going to do with her? She's not going to fucking go around with us killing monsters now.
Why not? She's the one who's the hunter.
She is, but kind of like you treat her now like she's paper. You know what I'm saying? Like you protect her. You don't involve her in anything. You got back your mom. I mean, for me, I would protect her like she was made of paper.
But how many people are getting into the bunker? She's going to be a liability to them.
The only people that can get into bunkers are extremely powerful bad people. So you probably would not want her in the bunker because if anybody does get into the bunker.
Like if they can get in the bunker, then you're fucked.
Yeah.
But if you take her out with you, like And they can't treat. She won't put up with that. The Mary that we know from flashbacks.
No, but and all at the same time, oh my God, because we could go on for this forever. But the fact is that
I
she
know.
is such.
I can't wait until October.
Yes, it's gonna be phenomenal. She is just now gonna be a weakness for them. You know,
exactly.
And people are gonna use that. I mean,
exactly.
If I was Lucifer, but he doesn't. I mean, I don't know how many people are gonna find out or know at this point, because even if she does come back, people are like, oh, that's a friend or something. They don't say that that's their mom back from the dead.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
I feel like the Winchesters have kind of a gospel about them. I feel like the whole world, the demon and angel world, know the story of the Winchesters, and the story of the Winchesters starts with Yellow Eyes and their mom and all that.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of people probably know.
Well, speaking of Yellow Eyes, the psychic, Missouri, she said she would, constantly kind of go around the house, or not constantly, once in a while, going around the house, kind of feel it out to see if there's any kind of negative energy. She said she hadn't felt anything as evil when she went back to the house with John to see if there was any kind of like leftover energy or anything like that. And she said, no, I haven't felt anything. So it's weird kind of that you guys are now feeling this or sensing it. And I think that's where she starts picking up that Sam has something going on with him, that he was able to sense something when she wasn't able to, or even have a vision about the house.
But Sam Sam had a vision about the house. But then after their first battle with the poltergeist, Missouri thinks the house is clear. She puts out her sensors and doesn't feel anything. But Sam sticks around because he knows, something's not feeling right. It's not over. Even though it seems like we got rid of it, something's not right. And turns out Sam was correct. It wasn't over.
No.
And Missouri hadn't had any idea.
And the center of this evil is still in the nursery where his mom was killed. So whatever. And then they explain in the episode, or Missouri explains in the episode, that evil that was there, the yellow-eyed demon.
Although looking back on it now, 11 seasons later, is that really the biggest evil we've seen?
No, not a big evil, but
kind of like a minor player.
It could be close to Crowley. It could be in the same level as a Crowley, because Crowley, when he puts on his demon lenses, they're red, right?
Yeah.
This demon had yellow, specific yellow eyes, and all other lesser demons are all straight up black.
Yeah.
So this demon, the yellow-eyed demon, must have been at a king level.
Yeah, well, wasn't Azazel? Is that how you pronounce his name? They don't call him by his name yet in our rewatch, so we're still just calling him the yellow-eyed demon. But wasn't he king of hell at one point?
No, not that I know of, no. I don't think he was ever king of hell.
Who was king of hell before Lilith?
I have no idea.
Because Lilith was trying to become king of hell. She was ruling hell, breaking the seals to open doors to hell. She was the leader.
I can't tell you yes or no because I don't remember.
Aye.
But
I don't remember a lot either.
So
I'm trying to.
If he was at let's say king status, like Crowley, hundreds, thousands of years old. And he's been a demon for a very. He could be a very powerful evil spirit demon type thing. So he leaves supposedly like a scar, like a spiritual or energy scar on that place that kind of attracts other evil spirits, and they
reminds me a little of the crack in the wall from Doctor Who. Kind of. Anybody watches Doctor Who? Yeah.
I don't. I'm just going to agree with you though. But so it attracts evil spirits, and they attract a pretty bad poltergeist, which is pretty fucking evil. He locked the kid in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up,
man.
And
it was so weird. Did he because I was very confused by the refrigerator portion, because he opens the refrigerator and lures the kid in with a little bottle of sippy cup of juice, which we have established previously in the episode. The kid loves juice.
Yeah.
But if you look in the fridge, the juice is just set in the center. There are no shelves in the fridge.
Yeah.
Like
it's a weird setup for a fridge.
And all the food is kind of stacked off to the side. Like there's 3 cartons of eggs, but on top of each other on the right side of the fridge, so that there's this big open space in the middle for the kid to sit in. And I'm like, okay, I could see the poltergeist moving all the stuff to the side, moving all the food stacked on the side so the kid could get in. But did the poltergeist take the shelves out, or were there just no shelves in this refrigerator? But we have magnets, but we haven't put any shelves. Like, what the fuck? I was very concerned about the refrigerator.
Heather, it's obvious. It's during Thanksgiving time. That's where they're going to put the turkey when they're done. So they needed to make room, hence why the refrigerator had so much space and it was perfectly sized for a little kid. Oh, duh. But no,
I'm
so
sorry, that was just something that I really
but
got
it's
hung
really
up on
jacked up that
watching
that the poltergeist unlocks the little kid lock.
Yeah, the safety lock.
And
I love
the
that.
poor kid, what's he gonna do? Cold him to death? Like, it's not really freezing temperature in the refrigerator. What is it, like,
but a kid
60?
suffocates.
Oh, maybe,
in
yeah.
those. Have you not heard all the things? Like, if you throw out a refrigerator, you have to tear off all the seals so a kid can't get stuck in it.
Really? I didn't know you could
Like,
die
that's
in
a
there.
big thing. It's a big deal about kids dying in refrigerators.
Oh.
Like, that has been... It used to be like an epidemic where kids would get into an abandoned refrigerator and, like, die. It's a thing.
Nope,
I
never
thought
heard
everybody
of it.
knew this.
Not me.
That's why they have
I
the
was like,
safety,
well,
the
maybe
safety
that's-
things for the refrigerators.
Maybe that's why I was like, what's it going to be, like, comfortable for an hour or two? We're like, what's that really a bad thing? Anyways.
No, kids would absolutely suffocate and die in there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense now that you're saying it, but when I was thinking about it, I was like, I mean,
That's the thing.
is it air like airtight? I guess it is because it has like the seal around. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, so they end up going back to the house with Missouri to kind of see if she gets the same feeling because they know something's going on with the house. Something's obviously wrong. They go back with her and she says that it's not the same energy that she felt when they were kids, or the same bad, real evil energy. So they're kind of disappointed. I think they're like, we're hoping that maybe it was, but she said it the best. She
Because
said,
they
like, I
do
hope
actually
you're.
want to track down this demon who killed their mom and Jess. That's kind of their ultimate goal. That's Sam's goal. He wants to quit when he gets to that point,
Right.
So a little disappointed that he hasn't caught it.
But I mean, it's kind of like it's twofold. One, they're disappointed that it's not the spirit, but at the same time, they're kind of relieved, like, oh shit, we don't have to deal with the thing that killed our mom right now, because that's a big step. Because that's the one where I would be like, okay, we need to get our dad like ASAP because he's gonna be like.
Well, do you think that's probably the only reason that John showed up is because Dean said it might have it's at our old house. We think it's the thing with mom.
Right.
Otherwise, John probably would have just ignored him again.
So
Like the dick that he is.
Yeah. So she senses both spirits, the poltergeist, and she can't really tell that what the other spirit is. But she's saying that, I don't know if she was saying it wasn't bad or it was kind of, she couldn't tell what it was. So they decide to exercise it all by putting some herbs, I guess, in the corners of the house on each floor.
Duh.
I don't know what those concoctions
some bay
are.
leaves, maybe a little basil, some thyme.
Yeah, grab what's left in that kid's refrigerator and stick it in this jar. But why put it in the walls? I don't understand that. But I do like the...
But at specific cardinal directions, right? The north, south, whatever. I don't know.
North, south, west, and east on each floor of every floor of the house. And that's going to exercise or, clean the house from whatever spirits are in it. So, and this is where actually on my notes where I wrote the part that, Missouri would be my go-to. She knows how to exercise, or not exercise demons, but clean houses.
Mm-hmm.
She has a lot of knowledge that they need to tap into.
Yeah.
Like, that's where kind of like you go into that journal and start adding stuff. Now, what can you tell me? Like, this is stuff that we've run into. What is there anything you could help us with? What can we carry along with us to help us? Like, I don't know, like a quick little bag to throw at a spirit that will help it go away or something.
We end up seeing hex bags, in the future. Where are the protection bags and all this? Like, why don't they have? Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So they start kicking in like holes in this poor lady's house, and I mean, I kind of felt bad at the same time. Like, we're trying to
and
save you.
I feel like she came here because her husband died, right? Is that the
or
vibe
they got
that you
maybe
got?
I got more of like a divorcey feel. Maybe
Did he cheat on her and she's divorced? And
that's what
why
I'm
they're
feeling.
there?
Like, yeah, and you stuck because she wasn't.
Because she was staring at a wedding picture and like crying in the beginning of it. So I feel like I thought he was dead.
I'm thinking more divorce.
She was like starting over. I don't
mean,
know.
it was not clear, but I felt like more of a divorce vibe from her.
I got more of a sad vibe.
So
anyway,
they start saying, things are gonna get bad as soon as we start putting these things in their walls, and this poltergeist like takes like all three of them out like very quickly.
Yeah.
But why, if the poltergeist is trying to kill the people in the house, he just throws that knife and just gets it quick. But he goes to be the poltergeist is very creative. He wants to like kill people in a very creative way.
Dramatic.
Very dramatic.
They've got to be a star.
Yeah, they gotta and then attract the attention of all hunters around the area too.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I mean, I was like, oh wow, this fucking poltergeist took out Sam. Like, it would have taken out Sam with a quickness if it wasn't for Dean coming in and finding him. But I thought that was fun. I was like, well, why wouldn't the poltergeist just stab all the families like with one knife, just go around like flying, just like stab.
The poltergeist has been playing around with this family for days or a week at least now before Sam and Dean ever even got there.
Oh my God, and how scary was when the lady's like sleeping on the bed thinking that everything's okay and it just starts fucking shaking like.
You know, some people kind of put money into a little machine to get that to happen.
Some people dig that, right? It's like, oh,
I bet you Dean would enjoy it.
Free massage. But at this point, we really find out that Sam's second sense or whatever he has is on point because he says, we're not going to leave. I think there's still something going on. And of course, wouldn't you know it, he sees the lady in the window freaking the fuck out. She's like, oh my God, hurry up. Help me out.
Well, I mean, we kind of already knew because of his saying he had the dreams about Jess.
Right.
And then it came true. And he said he had dreams about her dying like that for days before she actually did. But, that could have just been attributed to, hey, my brother showed up again and brought back all this stuff about my mom's death. So now I'm, dreaming about that, kind of putting it together. But no, seemed real.
Yeah, they run in there, break down the door again, just creating a massive amount of damage to the house.
And I feel like Dean kicked in the wrong spot for that door to break down.
Yeah, he kicked more towards like the hinges. He should have been kicking more towards the handle.
At the lock there. Anyway,
I would love to try to kick down a door.
Okay.
Not this door. There's no way.
I was going to say, try any of the doors in this building because these are all super heavy.
Made of metal?
Like vacuum sealed doors. Like these are crazy doors.
Yeah, I'll totally break my leg trying to kick those doors in.
Ugh.
But they come in the house. Dean goes for the lady, and she says like, rescue my kids or get my kids, and Sam runs into the kids' rooms and sees the figure on fire, doesn't realize what it is at that point, grabs the kids and
props to Jared for holding two children and like running down a hallway with them. Like he's holding actual children.
Yeah.
And like that, you got to be strong to hold two children like that and run down a hall.
Yeah, the older kid is definitely heavier.
Yeah, that older kid is like a fairly large child.
45, 50 pounds probably. Anyway, so what I found most epic about that scene was the fact that when he drops off the girl at the door and he says the iconic lines that his dad said to Dean, which was, take your brother. I wrote it down, actually. Let me read it. It says, take your brother outside and don't look back. And it's the exact same thing that
John said
to Dean. Yeah. I was like, oh wow, they're bringing it back. That's awesome.
Sam doesn't know that.
He doesn't know it, but like it's instilled in him like that.
Yeah.
That's the same thing. They're father and son.
Or they just didn't have time to write another line.
No, that was a great line. I was like, as soon as that line, I was like, I wrote down, best fucking episode ever. This is so good.
No, we'll be getting to the best fucking episode ever in a couple seasons.
Well, I guess Sam goes back, I guess, to really, like, I guess, fight off whatever it is.
Well, he was pulled back.
Oh, that's right. He was
pulled in by the poltergeist. Sam didn't want to go back in. Sam got pulled in.
So he got pulled back, and then Dean is trying to hatch it down, like, the door, which, again...
Dean's trying to save him, and then
if you're trying to hack down a door, what part of the door do you hack down? Like, the part closest to the handle, so you kind of got to reach in there and, like... open it, right?
I would go through the center because the center's doesn't have any reinforcements.
Okay, so you're trying to like because
if I've got an axe and I'm going through, if I'm trying to kick the door, you kick like under or above or around the lock to break it around there, right?
Yeah, you don't want to kick in the middle of the door because then your foot just go right to the middle of the door and then you're stuck.
Look,
how awkward would that be? Just like, oh guys, I'm stuck. Somebody help me.
I can tell you.
You've tried to you've kicked down a door?
I have not. I was not intending to break a door. Sometimes it's better to punch doors and walls than it is people.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, yes, I have kicked my foot through a door.
Wow, okay.
An interior door, not an outer door that's, heavier. This was a fairly light door. It's like hollow on the inside. It's just, some plywood on the inside.
I'm impressed.
But I have kicked my foot through and cut the shit out of my ankle from all the broken pieces of wood when your foot goes through.
Yeah, I definitely want to try one day to kick a door down.
All right.
Go to like an abandoned building, just try to kick it down.
No, come to my house. I've got. I seriously
have a practice door.
No, I do. I have a door that needs to be replaced because I have kicked it and this one isn't broken through, so it's still there.
Oh.
But it is the frame is a little warped now, so I need a new one.
Remind me never to piss you off.
Why? I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to hurt my own door.
You're going to 300 kick me through like the hallway. Yeah. So the poltergeist pins Sam to the wall. And also enough that
he
family
force chokes him basically.
Yeah, totally got force choked. And he starts seeing that figure walk. And at first the figure looks a little bit, I guess more masculine. They gave it a little bit of size to it. But it was a really short figure, so I'm like, that's definitely Mary. That's definitely her. And Dean walks up to the shock on their face when it's revealed that it's their mom.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I felt like the whole cartoon thing was going to happen with like their jaw falls down to the floor, the tongue rolls out, like oh my God, I cannot believe that happened. And it turns out to be their mom, and she says Dean, and then she says to Sam, I'm sorry. What do you think she meant by her sorry?
Well, having watched the rest of the series, I know what she meant.
What is that?
Do you not remember that the reason
that
shit went down is
I know
because of her?
But that, I mean, I'm sorry can mean so many things. I mean, she's sorry
I'm sorry I'm dead. I'm sorry I wasn't there for you. I'm sorry about Jess.
So was
I'm
it like
sorry
right,
that
exactly.
I'm sorry that I started this whole mess to begin with. Like, I'm sorry that you got pulled into this house because I couldn't protect it. Like, I don't know. There's a million things that she could have meant.
Maybe that's what it's just kind of throwing like a generic, I'm sorry, to kind of cover all bases.
I kind of took it as, I'm sorry, I fucked up because she, observing things as a spirit, I think knows more about what's happening to Sam. And what's happening to Sam is her fault.
Yes.
You know, spoiler alert, we find out later on, but what's happening to Sam with his visions and what's going on with him is her fault.
Yeah, it all starts because of her. Well,
so I think maybe that's kind of how I took it, as a general, I'm real sorry I fucked up your life shit, you know?
Yeah. I mean, and she's so sorry that she actually supposedly sacrifices her spirit form to destroy the evil entity poltergeist and protect her kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's one of the things where, like, as you watch the show later on and you see, like, the next season, like, supposedly her body's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Her spirit is destroyed.
Yeah.
But yet she's able to come back. But again, when you're God or at a Mars level, you could pretty much fucking do whatever you want to do.
Right.
You know, there's no... we need a little sample of her hair or DNA.
Well, no. You can do whatever you want except for bring back the archangels that we needed to help us because it would take too long.
Oh, yeah. It's just... That was ridiculous.
Like...
What a waste of time that would have been.
We couldn't even fucking get the one archangel out of the Lucifer's cage. I mean, Rowena can get Lucifer out of the cage in a snap like that, but God can't go down and get Michael. No, we don't have time for that. He'll be too weak anyway. I don't have time to get him back up to par. But we can bring your mother back from the dead 20 years later. 30 years the body's been dead. 10 years the spirit's been completely
Still
dead.
wearing the same house dress.
Still in her damn nightgown. It's held up really well. No stains or anything. But...
Yeah, so the mom, clears out the poltergeist. The house is now completely free of any kind of spirit, clean, awesome, right?
Yay.
So they say their goodbyes and they get into the car. What an awkward car ride. Or like, what do you talk about at that point? Like, you just saw your dead mother walk up to you in spirit form. I mean, what do you talk about? Like, do you say like, so what'd you think about what happened inside?
No, you don't talk about it. And that's how you end up emotionally
scarred,
like destroyed the way that the Winchesters are. Like, honestly.
Yeah, so I was like, man, what an uncomfortable car, not an uncomfortable car ride, but just like, do you just like not even say anything?
No,
just
it's like,
trying to absorb it. Like,
it's like
what
any
just
other
happened.
case. You don't think about it anymore. You move on, you go off, and now you're going to stop at a diner, get some food, and pick up the next case. That's all. Yeah,
and then so they take off and drive off into the sunset like they always do. But then the last scene, Missouri's walking into her house, and at first I was like, oh my God, the poltergeist is in her house. Like, the poltergeist is going to take her out. Like, I didn't remember exactly what happened to her. I was like, okay, that poltergeist totally was going in her house, and I was going to find her and kill her for helping out the Winchesters.
I thought for sure when they said, don't be a stranger, and they're like, oh, I won't, and I'm like, I don't remember seeing her in any future episodes.
No.
And I'm like, she's dead. She's going to die. Because I didn't remember the very end either. But as soon as I said that, I'm like, oh, she's got to be dead. So I had the same feeling you did. When she walked in her house, I'm like, she's going to be dead. Because she's talking, but you don't see who she's talking to or anybody around. You don't know if she's talking to herself.
Or a spirit, like, okay,
spirit, like,
hey, I thought you guys...
Like, yeah, I'm like, nope, this is way too ominous. Like, there's no background noise or music. I'm like,
Yep.
it's quiet. That means something dramatic is about to happen. I'm like, she's dead.
She didn't have that famous like blood splatter scene at the end of the episode. Like, oh my god, I knew you were here, and she's dead.
Yeah.
End of episode. But
none of that happened.
Lo and behold, goddamn John Winchester is sitting on her couch. Did not get involved in anything, but is still somewhat, I guess, concerned about the situation, but does not help out at all.
But why though? Like, why did he?
I guarantee you he was watching from afar.
Yeah, okay, so I understand. I think his reasoning is stupid as hell, but I understand that his reasoning is he's trying to protect Sam and Dean from his hunt of Yellow Eyes, who
by
killed
putting
Mary.
them in more danger with other spirits and supernatural creatures.
Thank you. But like, if Mary's spirit hadn't shown up in this episode, like if she hadn't been there, Sam would be dead, and Dean probably would be too, because he wouldn't leave Sam behind.
So wait, so the reason why he's
But,
not
like,
involving them in any of this is because he does not want them to get hurt.
He's trying to protect them. I mean, that's his reasoning for it, right?
I don't know. He says that he was not ready to see them until he learned the truth. So I still don't think at this point he knows what he's trying to hunt. I think he's still I think he himself is still after exactly what it is.
Dude, if you haven't found out any information in 20 years, you suck at it and you need to just give up.
I mean, yeah, it's been a fucking long time for him. Like, jeez. The poor guy. I mean, he's obviously now obsessed. He's he's kind of crossed that bridge. Because after a couple months, like a solid investigating, but like, you know what, this is not going so well for me.
I'd be like, you know what, we're just gonna be a normal person and self-diagnose and treat with alcohol and drugs. Like,
yeah,
let's just be a normal deadbeat dad and kind of go into myself. And
but for me, the line of saying that he has to know the truth before he's able to like talk to him again. I'm just trying to think of what that truth is. And I'm thinking it's just literally what it was that actually killed him.
But why now? Why at this point in his life versus the other 20 years?
Maybe because he's closer. Closer to that truth and finding out what it is. Because later on you find out so many things about...
Because it's not like he left them when Dean turned 18 or when Sam turned 18 and he went off to, I really need to find the truth. There was no particular reason for him to need to go off and find the truth without them.
Because maybe, you know what, he might even know that it was some sort of demon that killed his wife, but then he has to also find out why it was. It's just so random that this, powerful demon is coming there to kill their wife, but... Maybe he's trying to find out also, what led up to that and what Mary did in order to save his life, save the kid's life, and have their family. Maybe that's that story. And you get to learn so much about her whole entire family of hunters.
Yeah.
And how she was able to save his life, John's life.
Yeah, spoiler alert. We're completely moving on.
Yeah. No, but it's just what he says. It makes you think, and us knowing, what's happened or what's going to happen in future seasons. Kind of, really, the wording could mean a lot of stuff. But honestly, top 5 episodes of all time of Supernatural.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Going back into
out of all
their child,
250 whatever.
It was. I felt like I was watching a movie.
It was a really good episode.
And scary. It was scary. It was full of just like suspense, anxiety, and I think every character like played their role. And think about how many characters were in that episode. Really, like we had maybe one supporting character and 3 or 4 people in the episode. It was crazy good. And the fact that it's the first time you see John Winchester.
Yep, it's John's
after
first time
that
back.
First episode.
Yep, Mary's first time back.
Yeah, so it was a really, really great episode. I don't know what episode. Actually didn't write down what was the next episode. What was the title? Do you know that off the top of your head? Or after Googling it for about 5 seconds?
I don't know. Why don't you fill the space?
Well,
let's see. The title of the next episode.
Speak very slowly to extend the time.
It's called Asylum, Season 1, Episode 10. Sam and Dean investigate an abandoned sanitarium and discover that when the hospital was open, the patients held a revolt against the cruel and unusual experimental treatments.
Sounds like paradise to me.
Sounds like something they go back to with Ghostfacers a lot.
So please tell me about what we learned at Comic-Con.
Yes.
In the supernatural world.
San Diego Comic-Con happened last week and over the weekend. There was a Supernatural panel. Then they did a couple. I know Supernatural did a Nerd HQ, and I know Jared did a Nerd HQ. I didn't get too much information from all this news. The biggest news is Lucifer is getting a new vessel in season 12. He's going to be played by Rick Springfield, Jesse's Girl singer.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to be playing that. Lucifer is going to try out different vessels, and the first one he feels comfortable in is a rock star named Vince Vincenti.
Well, what's
who
crazy
will be played
about
by
that
Rick Springfield
is that now clarifies the fact that Lucifer is not dead.
Lucifer's not dead, because if we remember at the end of season 11, what had happened with Lucifer is he was cast out of Cass's body. Just off somewhere. We never knew where he ended up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. So that clears up, because a lot of people had a question about on Reddit whether Lucifer was dead or not,
mm-hmm.
and that kind of answers it. So that he's not dead.
Yep.
And he's I think we're gonna miss Cassifer, or what was the name we gave him?
Luciel or Cassifer. Yeah.
We're definitely gonna miss him, and I know Misha's gonna hate doing his deep voice again because
Misha has to go back to his Cass voice.
Yeah.
But what we're getting is, Andrew Dabb and Bob Singer are going to be running the show this season, so it's kind of a switch up on the showrunners again. But what they're saying is that, after God, there's not really anything bigger you can do, so they're going to scale back. Yeah.
Okay.
So they're going to scale back and kind of return to the basics. Cass will have his mojo back, and he's going to be back to like that angry, closed off, emotional,
Mm-hmm.
angel that he was. He's going to be closer to season 4 Cass than we've seen him before.
Could he be a bad guy now again?
I don't think so. He's going to be hunting Lucifer.
Oh, okay, all right. Because he's probably going after the guy who actually, Lucifer did do what he said he was going to do.
Lucifer did do what he said he was going to do. So Lucifer has done his thing. He's kind of, what they're saying is now, Lucifer has had his face-to-face with God, and now he's out in the world. He's kind of on vacation. He wants to have fun. He's jumping around into different vessels and ends up in an aging rock star, and that's what he's doing. So in season 12, we're going to get more about the relationship with their Sam and Dean and their mother. Apparently, Cass is going to have an interesting relationship with Mary,
mm-hmm.
And kind of tattle on Sam and Dean to her. Sam is, from some of the footage that they showed, we're going to get Sam being tortured by the British Men of Letters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to find out a little bit more about them and see what goes on with that. They may end up teaming up later on. They may not. I couldn't really tell what they were trying to say there. So it's
because if Cass goes off to find Lucifer, he
mm-hmm.
won't really be tied in too much with Sam and Dean. I mean, that might be maybe episode like 6 or 7 type thing, but definitely episode 1, Sam and his mom talking.
Well, no,
I'm sorry, Dean and his mom.
Yeah, episode 1. Like, you're getting Cass is on a hunt for Lucifer, but Dean.
But not right. I don't think it's gonna be right away because.
But Dean and Mary are going to be on a hunt for Sam because Sam's been shot and taken.
So I think they're going to go together and find Sam,
mm-hmm.
and then Cass, which I think have been great if he would have been able to go with them to go find Sam. If he maybe does that like later in the season, they're gonna need his help in order to find Sam, because these guys have resources and seem to be a little bit more organized than your typical hunter or situation where like the Men of Letters, like there really is no Men of Letters anymore in the United States.
Yeah,
so
there's just Sam and Dean.
Just based upon their headquarters, they are a little bit more, sophisticated than what's going on in the U.S. But I cannot wait to see what happens in season 12, because that was one of our conversations before, was the fact that where do they go after God
mm-hmm.
and Amara? Where do they go after that? Where can you go?
We're going backwards, back to the
yep.
beginning, making it about family, and instead of the relationship of Sam and Dean and their father, it's Sam and Dean and their mother, who has never seen them as adults. Sam was 6 months old when she died. She has to kind of have to learn all that. And is she a weakness like we were talking about? Who knows? Yeah. We'll see.
All right. Well, I want number one shout out to Alice, which is our friend from the WinchesterFamilyBusiness.com.
Yo.
You could connect with anybody from there with the with their social handle, which is WinFamBiz. And what else are we gonna push? Yeah, make sure you like us and subscribe so you could see when we upload our newest stuff. And please comment and like and share. And I think that's all I have for today. Do you have anything else to say?
No.
All right. Peace out, homie.
Bye.